Welcome to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. In fact, this is our first show of the year, and we have a great show again for you to begin the new year. Our show today is divided into two parts. The first part would involve news briefs and news analysis, because we want to give you a crystal ball which will make it easy for you to make sense of what is happening in Africa today. Much of what happens may sound like something out of rhythm, but we want to let you know that there is method in the madness. Then second, we're going to take you to a video which has been sent to us so many times by so many viewers. When we started this show, we told you that this is your show. We want this show to reflect what you think. So over the last few days, we've been receiving the same video by many of our viewers. So people have been asking us to take a look at this video. As we started looking at the video, we found out that the video came from a group called My Ghana Links. When we went on YouTube to really watch this video, we were really surprised that the video did not even have a lot of views. And we were asking ourselves, why is it that this video doesn't really have a lot of views? Because this video really focuses attention on the African condition. Why is Africa behind? The video seems to have a spokesperson who claims to be Caucasian, white American, and the video was like a form of advice to black people what they need to do to get ahead and be close or even superior to white people. As part of the reasons for black problems, the video cited three elements. Religion was one, unity was a second item, organization was a third item. So we're going to reserve the comments for this video to the second part of the show. For the first part of the show, we want to go to news analysis. Our news analysis of today takes us first to South Africa. When we woke up this morning, we were really disheartened to read about news of a train collision in South Africa. Over 3 people died and over 100 people were really wounded. So we really want to take a moment to observe some silence for the people who lost their lives in South Africa today. Okay, South Africa also has some good news. As I say, to every cloud there's a silver lining. The good news is we have decided that South Africa would be the winner of the Third African Nation Awards. We've been ranking all these African countries, and today we are announcing to you in the new year that South Africa is the winner of the African Nation Awards. So let's clap for South Africa. Okay, next, we're going to move now to the United States of America and its relations with Africa. When we look at the new year, we want to prepare you. What is U.S.-Africa policy going to be like? Under President Donald Trump, we do not really think there is a major shift in America's policy towards Africa, okay? When we look at this policy, I know most people are distracted by President Trump's bombastic language. I call him Mr. Bombastic. But the rhetoric is just a way to distract people. The policy remains pretty close to what was enforced during the time of President Barack Obama. It's true, John Bolton, the National Security Advisor, was saying that, well, the policy is going to shift now to prosper Africa, and America is going to move from more of a diplomatic to an aggressive posture in order to threaten and combat forces like China, Russia, and North Korea, which are really encroaching on Africa, and they are making it difficult for Africa to progress. So when we look at this, we'll tell you that it is time for Africans to open their eyes and take action, because the US policy remains the same. They don't just want to do anything for Africa, they want Africa to bring back something on the table. So it's like America wants to build its policy on a form of reciprocity. Africa has to deal with a give and take situation. They give to Africa and Africa gives back to America, but it's like trade with strings attached, okay? We have strings attached to this trade. Africa has resources. America does not just want to do what obtains with AGOA, but they want Africa to open its markets. They want Africa to present more accountability, okay? So you have to be accountable to the people so that the markets have to be liberalized. So that's the kind of capitalism America is bringing to Africa. So when we look at the American policy, that's more of what we're going to see. There's going to be more challenge to China, Russia, and all of these other countries. You're going to see it. So now America is awake, is going to engage in Africa a whole lot. So that's something that we see looming on the horizon in 2019.
$250 to $6,000. Quick tax refund advance made easy. It's tax season 2019. The Christmas and New Year holidays are over. Everybody's talking about the PJ Tax Service, the new kid in town on H&R Block's block. Why? Money, money, money. Spread the good news. Quick tax refund advance is here. It's big, bigger than ever. Put big money in your pocket fast. PJ Tax Service. Nobody gets your tax money back faster, instantly, quickly, and immediately. 3 tax refund disbursement choices for you in less than 24 hours. Visa e-card, paper check, and direct deposit. Get your money back without delays. PJ Tax Service has your back. It is your money, so get it now. PJ Tax Service. You like the way we do your taxes. PJ Tax Service. You feel like a lottery or a sweepstake winner. Act now. Call 301-593-4879 or 301-593-4897 or come to our office, 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Or you can visit us online, www.pjtaxservice.com.
Next, we're going to take you now to Nigeria. We love talking about Nigeria because Nigeria is a big country in Africa. When we woke up this morning, we were really disheartened by news that the Daily Trust newspaper has been raided by soldiers loyal to President Buhari. They raided offices in Abuja, Maiduguri, and of course Lagos. So it seems as if this newspaper was accused for publishing a story involving a planned act against Boko Haram. So to the government, it was like the newspaper is revealing military secrets. The question that inquiring minds want to know is this: Mr. Buhari, is the Daily Trust newspaper an arm of your government? They are not an arm of the government. So if they are publishing stories, where did they get this information from? They don't have intelligence on military planning. They may just be saying that expect the government to act against Boko Haram. So why are you muscling these people? What you're really doing is you're trying to fight against people who express themselves. So this is a form of dictatorship. In fact, we've been telling you on this show so many times that under President Buhari, we're seeing that the line between democracy and dictatorship is really getting blurred. It seems as if sometimes Mr. Buhari forgets that this time he is president under a democratic regime, not a military dictatorship, because he confuses these two ideas most of the time. So other organs in Nigeria came to the support of the Daily Trust. Even newspapers such as The Punch supported the Daily Trust because the Daily Trust is the fourth estate. They are supposed to represent the voices of the people. So if they are reporting news so that the people can benefit from this news, then you don't have to raid their offices and seize their computers, then intimidate them with soldiers armed to the teeth. So this is the wrong approach. In fact, why is Mr. Buhari sending soldiers to intimidate these people? It's because Mr. Buhari is running for a second term, and already his strength is security. Now, current events in Nigeria are making it impossible for Mr. Buhari to be able to hold that mantle of chief of security because there's no security in Nigeria. The place is so insecure that the newspapers are telling the stories every day. Boko Haram is back, fighting very hard. So they claim to the presidency, which used to be, I will make Nigeria more secure, cannot really be tenable. So it looks like Mr. Buhari doesn't really have a good reason to be campaigning for re-election. So when these people publish all these stories, Mr. Buhari is not happy. So he tries to close their mouths so that they should not speak. But we have a very thriving press in Nigeria, and for a long time, this is a tradition. Nigeria always believes in freedom of the press. So to try to suppress a newspaper organization is a big mistake, okay? So we're really encouraging the world to take a look. Even this morning also, we want you to know that the UN also published stories talking about corruption in Nigeria under the Buhari regime, okay? Nigeria has lost almost $3 billion because of oil-related crimes. So what are you doing, Mr. Buhari, Mr. Clean? If you are really Mr. Clean, then such theft should not really be going on. But as we've said so many times, Mr. Buhari has a very selective approach to fighting crime and corruption. If the people belong to his party, he tends to just look the other way. So we think this doesn't augur well for Nigeria. Finally, we really want to draw your attention to news that also hit our desk this morning. It looks like some people have exposed a plot by Buhari to kill Atiku Abubakar by using some bandits. So this can create a serious problem. So we're really saying that this should not really happen, because if Atiku is killed, this will really create a big problem in Nigeria. So I think it is in the interest of President Buhari to do everything possible to protect Atiku during this campaign season. Because if this goes out of hand, it will create a whole lot of problems. Now we'll have a war between Awuzas. Awuza, they'll be fighting among themselves. So we are really warning people.
Life insurance money secrets of millionaires and billionaires exposed. Discover how America's rich and famous exploit these arcane tools to build fabulous wealth. Why should these big white guys have all the fun? Let Prince Ojong, the celebrity author of The Miraculous Millionaire, show you the little understood life insurance way to riches. Are you still doubting the good things that life insurance can do for you? Trust strategies, estate planning, 401k rollover, annuity contract, cash value, education funding, executive benefits, income protection, life protection, living benefits, mortgage protection, tax-free retirement? Think and grow rich with life insurance. Your amazing journey to wealth begins by calling Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131.
So next, we're going to go to Nigeria's neighbor, La République du Cameroon. We've been reporting a lot on what is happening in Cameroon. For almost 2 years, Cameroon has been in strife. Cameroon has now gone through a civil war that is really protracting. We have, on the one hand, President Paul Biya. On the other hand, we have Dr. Samuel Sako of Ambazonia. It looks like we're having a talk of war. In fact, at the end of the year, President Biya made a speech. In this speech, people were expecting him to make some conciliatory moves to the Anglophones of Cameroon, but he instead decided to focus on more and more militarization. So it looks like the old fox is a warmonger, and he has a lot of people in his cabinet who are warmongers. So they have really been encouraging him to keep on the path of war. As we've always told you, most of these Cameroonian officials are benefiting a whole lot from this war effort in Ambazonia. On the other hand, we also had Dr. Samuel Sako, the interim president of Ambazonia, who also made a speech at the end of the year. In his speech, I think the most noteworthy item we need to take from there is the shift from a defensive posture to an offensive posture by the Ambazonians. From what we're seeing on the ground in Ambazonia, it seems there is a consolidation of security forces. So instead of having so many different armies, all the soldiers are now coming under the control of the interim government. We had predicted this over 6 months ago that it's going to happen. So this is the next evolution in this conflict. Sako is a very, very smart politician. He's a pastor, a man of God, but we think he's a strategist. Do not underestimate this individual, because we've been studying him and we're looking at what he's doing. In almost a year, he's been able to take the fight to the enemy, and he's very, very effective. When this conflict started, the Ambazonians had nothing. They were killed every day. All of a sudden, with the ascendancy of Sako, things have really changed a whole lot. In just under 9 months, we have people who are really hitting the government with hit and run attacks. They hit, they run, they hit, they run. And most of the government forces cannot really cope with these amber boys who keep hitting and running. Okay? Sometimes they say the guys have audacious, but it's just because of the new strategy that is evolving. And President Sako is behind this strategy. And he's actually assisted by his able communication secretary, Mr. Chris Anu. Under this secretary, we get a lot of information on what is happening. So when we look at this conflict, it looks like what we're seeing today is two people, President Paul Biya and Dr. Sako. President Paul Biya is the Goliath. Dr. Sako is the David. But when we see the way David is outmaneuvering Goliath, we know that in the end, the Ambazonians will emerge victorious, because they will be making one gain after another, one gain after another. And it looks like the old fox may not be able to keep pace with this new individual who is a master strategist. So when we look at what is happening in Cameroon, we can only predict that the war will get bloodier, until the point that Mr. Biya would have to just say, yes, I give in, okay? But he can only capitulate when the Amber forces are able to vanquish his troops. Already, there's the announcement of a new Prime Minister, Dr. Joseph Dion Ngute. This individual is an Anglophone. He has been working at the presidency. He has a long career in government. So by nominating this individual, we don't really see the way this will really help Mr. Biya. Because when you give this individual instructions, he has to rely on you. But this is a very unpopular war. So there's no magic wand that Dr. Ngute is going to bring to the field. It is true. The area where he comes from, because he comes from Bobongo village in the Barombi area, Indian division. So when we look at what is happening, this area also is very, very rich. But unfortunately, the government has not done much to help the people who come from this area. Over 45% of the resources that come from that area of the country have not benefited these people. They are all taken away to Douala and Yaoundé, and these people are left with nothing. So they have been disgruntled for a very, very long time. And this area has a very porous border. People are moving arms into the country, even though the B elements are there of Biya, but the people are still able to move arms cleverly. Even this Christmas season, we received a lot of intelligence about the amount of ammunition that were transported through this corridor. It was just a whole lot of stuff. And this stuff is going to create even more havoc in the country. So we're predicting that you will see more bloodshed coming from both sides. And these Amber guys are going to have more resources. We just think that it's a mistake that Mr. Biya has not been able to come to the table to negotiate with these Amber elements. Because the more he gives them time, he makes them learn the art of war. So they are preparing and they are doing much better. Okay, next we'll move to Gabon. A few days ago, it was announced that there was a failed coup d'etat in Gabon. On this show, we've been telling you about what has been happening in Gabon. For a few weeks, the president of Gabon, Ali Bongo Ondimba, has been ill. He went to Saudi Arabia and fell ill, and it is claimed that he's recovering in Morocco. And it's been a while, so it looks like since he's been away, what is happening to the country? The country is really running on autopilot. We know the French are behind, they run everything. So a few disgruntled officers took it upon themselves to challenge and try to topple the government. Unfortunately for them, their coup d'etat was not planned, because when you want to do a coup d'etat, you need to really do a whole lot of planning. You need to get a lot of support from different segments of the society. Unfortunately, these disgruntled soldiers did not do their homework. So, as we say, It's good. If you fail the first time, try again. So probably next time they will succeed. But when we look at Gabon, it is a place that is really ripe for a coup because the people are really disgruntled with the permanence of the Bongo dynasty in power. The people really want the Bongos to leave power so that other people can become president and enjoy the riches of that oil-rich country. Unfortunately, the Gabonese have their French friends, their allies, so they make money together and the people have nothing. When you see the wealth that is in that country, the foreigners who are living in that country and enjoying all the resources, a few meters away, you have Gabonese who are living in squalor. So it's just like a tale of two cities. You have the rich whites and the poor blacks. So this is fueling a whole lot of discontent. And this discontent will stay until the situation is changed, okay? So Gabon is really a powder cake. As we can see, using our crystal ball, more problems are coming in Gabon. And we're telling you to watch out. You're going to see these problems happening in Gabon. Next, we're going to take you to Congo DRC. Congo DRC has been featured on this show many times. Congo DRC just organized presidential elections a few days ago. Unfortunately, Joseph Kabila, the dictator of that country, decided to cut off the internet. To the consternation of all the people and the foreign organizations, they could not really understand why this guy would do such a dumb act. But he did it because he wants to control the results of this election. As we speak, it seems as if only 53% of the results have been prepared. So why is it taking so long to know who won this election? Mr. Kabila is under immense pressure because they're telling him, if you fake the results, we're not going to accept these results. So he has to really be careful because the results would not really be accepted if they are fake. The international community is telling him this. The powerful Catholic Church is telling him the same thing. So when we look at this, we're saying that things do not really augur so well in Africa. So we have to be careful. So to make things work, we have to come back to a country where we have resources for everybody. Everybody has to benefit from the resources, okay? Economically, socially, and politically. So if we can really take care of some of this stuff, then there will be more peace. But when we look at what is happening in Africa today, we can only see a lot of trouble looming on the horizon. Congo DRC is not stable. As much as we've watched some interviews of Joseph Kabila claiming that he has done a whole lot of work to stabilize the economy, improve the currency exchange, and work on the mining sector. But the Chinese have been getting sweet deals. What have the people been getting? Nothing. So we don't really see the kind of progress. He talks about stability. There's no stability in Congo DRC. People are dying every day. So it's not really a good place for you to invest. Investors know this. So they are really withholding their money.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.
Okay, so next, we're going to move now to the video which we saw a few days ago. So many of you have been sending us this video. And as we told you, the purpose of this show is to make sure that your views are expressed all over the world. This is your voice. We are your voice. So many of you have been sending us a video. And when we looked at the source of video, we found out that the source of this video is my Ghana links.
Hi, my name is Stan. And I've been watching the Black Power community for the last 100 years. I just noticed that you guys have been having some problems figuring out what to do about me. You see, I'm a cracker. Yeah. The white man. The guy that has been running the whole world for the last 2,000 years. Well, the reason that I stopped by to speak with you today is to help. I've been watching you guys fight over gaining real black power, and thought I would give you a few pointers.
So we went on YouTube and watched this video in its entirety. What is this video talking about? Well, this video is more like an apology to explain to black people why they are inferior to white people. So after watching this video, we can only tell our brothers and sisters that a lot of the stuff this video is telling you is really nonsense. Okay? There are half-truths, then there are falsehoods. Okay, what is the thesis of this video? Essentially, this video is saying that there are 3 reasons for the inferiority of blacks over white people. The first reason is religion. The second reason is unity. The third reason is organization. So, why are black people inferior to whites? The video is saying black people are inferior to whites because of religion. The video claims that because black people gave up their gods for the white man's God, who is Zeus, who has transformed into Jesus Christ, they have lost psychologically. So psychologically, they feel they are inferior to white people. So that's the first explanation that the video presents. The second explanation is that white people are superior to black people because black people lack unity. Third, the video is claiming that white people are superior to black people because black people are not organized. So we've decided that we're going to tear apart all these 3 elements of the white man's thesis. Okay, let's look at the first topic, religion. When we look at the analysis of religion, we think the author of this video, whether he's really a Caucasian or not, is not really a literate person. Okay? Because when you look at religion, Jesus is not white. Contrary to what this video is saying, Jesus is not Zeus. Zeus is an old Greek god. Most of us have studied Greek literature, and we know much about the Greek gods. Okay? So, Zeus is not Jesus Christ. Then when we start looking at religion, we can tell that this white individual does not really understand religion. The black people did not substitute their gods for a white god. Jesus came from Israel. Okay? So how can Jesus be a white person? So when you look at all the images of Jesus, there's no way that Jesus can be a white person. And we have a lot of pictures and videos for you to watch. Then when you start looking at religion itself, as a learned person, all religions have really evolved from a polytheistic standpoint to a monotheistic standpoint. All religions. Christianity, same. All these religions, when you look at Yahweh, everything evolved. When you look at the Old Testament, the Jewish people evolved from the polytheistic religion to a monotheistic religion. So you cannot say that black people are the only people who made that transition. So black people have made the same transition other people made from a polytheistic belief system to a monotheistic belief system. Then we also have even an anthropologist or sociologist such as Auguste Comte. He talks about the law of 3 stages. All societies evolve through a theological stage, a metaphysical stage, and a positive stage. The theological stage deals with the way people make that transition from believing in many gods to believing in just one God. Okay? Then later on, they move to a metaphysical stage. With the metaphysical stage, we believe that God is beyond the physical. Okay? So God is outside. Okay? Then you have the positive stage, which deals with the scientific method. How do people conceive the idea of God? They do this by following the scientific method, which involves observation, classification, and analysis. But when we look at this video, the video does not take into consideration that all peoples evolve from a polytheistic standpoint to a monotheistic standpoint. So he's falsely accusing Africans. So we have the right to believe in Jesus, okay? So Jesus is not a white man's God. Contrary to all the images we see on church walls, Jesus is not a white person. Jesus was a Jew. And when you look at the way Jewish people looked around that time, they were not white people. So for anybody to tell you Jesus is a white God, it means the person is ignorant. So we've debunked the first point. And if you have more proof, we'll give it to you. The second point is unity. I think this video has some pointers here. Unity is very important. We have problems in our society because we are not united. So I will not argue with that. I think I will agree with the author of this video on that point. We need to work to be more united, which is why we think that the African Union is not really doing a good job to create African unity. So we need to go beyond that. So I think I will agree with the video that Africans need to do more to make the various countries united. Because if we are divided, it's difficult for us to really do a whole lot for our people. And most of the problems we face in Africa today is because Africa is divided into so many countries. Every country is trying to do its own thing. But we need to really work like one nation, the African nation, which is why in our show, we try to tell you that we believe in the birth of a new African nation, because that's the real solution to Africans' problems. If we have one nation, then we'll be able to control our own destiny. We'll be able to have our own resources. We have the brains, but for some reason, we allow foreigners to manipulate us and take our resources, then we stay poor. Then we start fighting with each other when actually we should be fighting with the foreigners. Okay? So that's the only point I see in that video that makes sense. The video is asking us to do our homework. Let's get back to being united. Then the next point in the video, it's organization. It's true. In the past, we used to have big organizations. We need to have empires. We need to have big businesses. We need to really do great things. So we have to get back to the act of doing great things. Africa is the cradle of civilization. We build the pyramids. You don't need to be an expert of Egyptology to know all of this. The basis of a lot of scientific inventions today originated from Africa. All these people know it. All the Greek philosophers came to Africa to study. The mystery schools were in Egypt, ancient Egypt. That's where all the foreigners came to collect knowledge. You've heard of the Great Library of Alexandria. So we just need to get back into doing things right for our people, okay? So if we can do this, we will not be listening to people who tell us we are inferior to white people. That's not true. So we believe that Africans have their talent. We've made some mistakes in the past, just the way all empires rise and fall. So long as America continues to make mistakes, before you know it, the American empire will also collapse. So empire to rise and fall. So anybody who understands history will know that empires rise and fall. So let's try now to build a new African nation. Let's try to build businesses. This should start first by you, the viewers of this show. Start by helping yourself before you start worrying about Africa. I'm worrying about what you can do for yourself as an individual, which is why we have the plan to build the first African 100. We're going to look for the first 100 Africans to try to help them to become self-reliant so that they can do their own thing. Then later on, they can take this success to Mother Africa. And I'm telling you, we can do this. So we're going to be training people. Whatever your area of expertise, if you call us, we're going to be able to help you to see how you can improve your life. Because we believe in Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We want you to move from the provision of just basic needs like shelter, housing, to safety, then to belonging, where you love yourself, then finally to self-actualization. So we can help you to move on this path so that if you are a self-actualized individual, then you can do more for yourself and the other people of the motherland. So we thank you for watching this show, and this is our first show of the year. If you watch this show, call our number 240-350-1131. We are ready to really train you to really do a lot for yourself. Then later on, you can transfer this success to Africa. Thank you very much.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.